Welcome to Positive Talk Radio. We're glad you're here. I'm Kevin McDonald, your host for this grand adventure, and I thank you for joining us. You see, our mission is to create a positive, personal connection to all things with courage and love. We invite terrific guests, interesting topics, and great conversation, all in a fun, entertaining way. And we always manage to learn something, too. So I hope you will stay right where you are for this episode of Positive Talk Radio. Well, what did you think of that one?
I loved it. The music was incredible. I love the different brand. I love it, Kevin. This is so much fun for me to have known you like earlier this year and to see this evolution. It's so inspiring for me. I am loving it.
Well, and that is your, by the way, I haven't told you this yet, but you're migrating over to Positive Talk Radio.
I'm excited.
Because, and actually you're going to be on both My Independence Report and Positive Talk for a period of time. But Positive Talk is going to be the show that is really, really destined for where you should be. It really is a cool environment for you, and to talk about the coaching that you do and the positivity that you exude everywhere and stuff. So it's really cool, and I'm proud that we are walking down this road together a little bit, and it's going to be awesome. So how you been? How's your week?
Oh, my week was incredible. I had so many really cool experiences. This last week was really empowering for me. Really, what's so fun about this work that I do is I'm evolving through it. I'm using the tools. I'm such a huge advocate of integrity. And as I'm using the tools, it ignites, like, people wonder why I'm so passionate. It's because I'm using the tools and they work for me. And I just get so excited about sharing it with everyone else. And so I had such a great week, had so much fun, went to a Halloween party. Did you watch Tiger King by chance?
I don't.
Oh, so Tiger King was like during COVID, it was like huge docuseries that went just viral. Like 64 million households watched it. And it's just Tiger King, Joe Exotic. He's one of a kind. You have to look him up, Kevin. But we dressed up as I was a tiger, and my date was Tiger King with a nice mullet and handlebar mustache and tattoos. We won best costume at the party we went to. It was so much fun. So had such a great week.
As we go down this road a little bit, and I get to know more about you and stuff, and that you are actually living the work that you are teaching, and so it's becoming a really cool thing, and it's growing exponentially, and your vision is being realized, and all of that. So it really is exciting to know you.
Oh, thank you. I received that. I love that, and it's been so fun. You've been such a really key component for me in helping build my confidence and standing in my power with my coaching. You consistently mirror to me that greatness you see in me, and it's been so helpful as I've had these moments where I'm like, can I really do this? Because this is my first time stepping into my own business, my own company. And there are things that are very intimidating about that. Anytime we do anything new for the first time, there's always that intimidation factor, that real like, whoo, can I do this factor to move through, and to have people show up in your life to say, yes, you can, and I believe in you, and here's how I can support you. It's incredible to have. It's been really, really life-changing for me. So
when you're out there all by yourself,
yeah,
and you're working, and you've got a vision, and you're pretty sure it's going to be successful, but you don't really know.
right.
And so you're sitting there going, God, is it gonna, can I, and stuff. And it's great to have some support from people that know that what you're about and who you are is not only is it great to see you do it, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
People need, and when we talk about, we did a show a couple of times ago about relationships. and that was a really dynamic show. I've had a lot of comments about how necessary that is and how really good job
Mm,
we did of putting that together. So
mm,
it's and you do it in business, you do
mhm.
it in your personal life,
Yep.
and you're very transparent about all of it, which is really cool.
I think all that authenticity is important. We're moving out of in leadership. We're actually shifting, and you see this like when you study Brene Brown and Simon Sinek, who do a lot in the area of leadership and showing up as true leaders. We're shifting from this old mindset, this old paradigm of look at me, I have it all together. You want to be like me? I have the cars, I have everything, into a more authentic space of I'm human too. And I'm having this human experience and I'm using the tools and they work because I'm applying them, and that I feel people really calling for that integrity and authenticity. And more people are drawn to the coaches and the mentors and the thought leaders who run that way and who function that way, who are just, they're real. They're like, that's why Brene Brown's so big. She's just real. She's real with the struggle. She's like, I'm in the struggle right with you. And I love that about her. And I love that we're shifting into that because it's necessary. It's important. It's actually to me the gateway to true connection, true real connection that we're all craving. So
Oh, I agree because there was a time. Well, and in fact, did you ever watch The Secret, the movie The
yeah,
Secret?
yeah,
There were some guys that were in that movie that were not as authentic as I think they could have been. One of them's now in jail. Uh,
right. I do remember that. I actually watched a whole documentary on that. If it's the one I'm thinking about.
because of the inauthentic attitudes that some of them, you can't. It's like what you're doing. You believe in the law of attraction. You
Yeah,
are working the law of attraction, but you have got a mindset that you're doing it, but you're also taking the steps. It's
yeah.
not like you can sit and meditate and then go to the mailbox and there's going to be a $10,000 check sitting there.
No, it's not how it works.
No, you have to work hard at it.
You
You
do.
know,
You get to work and you get to move, and there's integrated action. It's once you get into that meditative like alignment with your emotions and thoughts, then that's where you say, okay, what's my next step? And then you take action. That action is vital to creating what you want. It's actually a part of it. It's how we gain that muscle memory and trust in ourselves. When you act on that, you're actually improving and gaining trust with yourself, and you're learning the skills then to be that kind of person that has that kind of life that you're wanting.
and let's talk a little bit about now. I'm not sure I've told you this story yet,
Oh,
but it
yay!
does.
Story time! I love it.
um, yeah, I told you that my mom passed away.
Yeah, you did.
And I am a firm believer that all things happen for a reason.
Yeah,
Things happen in their own time,
yeah.
and that there are times when things can come out of it that you're not
Mm-hmm.
expecting. But if you pay attention and trust, my favorite word, things are
Mm-hmm.
going to work out. Things are going to work out really quite well.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because my mother passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and it was rather suddenly, and she passed easily, and she was 90. She had a great life. She had lots of money, lots of friends and stuff, and she was also a spiritual slash religious woman, and so
Mm-hmm.
she's in a much better place, and she's feeling better. She's also helping me do what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
because, and you know how I know that? Because a week after she passed away, of course, there's arrangements that have to be made.
Right.
And so my sister contacted a funeral home to go
Mm-hmm.
talk to a particular gal about the arrangements for my mother for her disposition and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And as it turned out, this gal couldn't be there. And
Mm-hmm.
so she sent somebody else to be there. Her name is Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And Holly, I get on the call. It's a Zoom call. I get on the call a little early. And so Holly and I are talking, and she says, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm kind of semi-retired, but I have this podcast that I do." And she said, "I love podcasts." And so as it turns out, So she goes home, she gets the information, she listens to a podcast or two, and she loves them, and she calls me back and says, "I love what you're doing." And I said, "Well, that's awesome." She said, "Well, I'm just about ready to graduate from college this month, um, and she's going to have a bachelor's in business." And she said, "I'm really looking to get out of what I'm doing."
Mm.
And so we got to talking and stuff. And so I hired her. First time I've done this because I've decided that I'm either going to go big or I'm going to go home. And so I'm going to go big.
I love
And,
it.
and, uh, um, and so we got together, and she is now the executive producer of kmmedia.pro, which is the parent company that we've developed. I now have 3 different podcasts that we are playing, and it's all because this has all happened in the last couple of months. That I spent 2 years learning how to do all this, and then she came in, and then there's another guy by the name of Eric that is acting as a co-host, and
Mhm.
it's the synergy of when you're working together with people, when you allow them to enter, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It is just amazing. So
Kevin, my whole heart is just so excited for you. Like this like joy that is just like, so excited to see what comes and what you create and what you're doing. And you're doing it and you're taking steps. And it's so, isn't it fun to see as you trust that the universe just things show up? As you let go of the need to control it and the need to do it a certain way and have it be a certain way, and you just trust, like things just fall into place. And then it's your job to take action and say yes to that and no to that, and to choose from that space of this is what I'm creating, this is my clear vision, this is what I'm doing, and I'm stepping in big. It's that I've been thinking about that a lot with, like, let's say some of these greats like Thomas Edison. Whole, did he invest so, like, his whole financial energy, like energetic, emotional thoughts, all of it, all of his energy, everything he had, he put into, for a long period of time, his exploration of creating what he saw as the light, right? Electricity, the light bulb. Like, that to me, like, those are the people that make a difference in this world. They put their whole heart into it. They risk everything for this dream. And I think the only time failure is a real thing is when we give up on the dream.
I
When
agree.
we say no to ourselves. That's the real failure. That's the real thing. Because along the way, as you continue, no matter what happens, to say yes to your dream, to say yes to what you want, like, yes, okay, oh, that didn't work out as I thought, so I fell down. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to keep growing. And I'm going to stay committed, like whole heart committed, that this is going to happen, and I'm going to see this through. That's what got me through the abuse, healing through the abuse, is I will see this through, and no time frame. I'm making it happen, and it will happen. I will live to see the day where that abuse no longer affects me on a regular basis at all. And that kind
And
of commitment, oh, it's just so good.
and you remember this last summer, there
Yeah,
was a point in time when you and I were having a discussion, and it was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this thing in the fall, and it's going to be called Reclaim You, and it's a 12-week course, and I'm scared out of my friggin' mind.
I totally was. Tears in my eyes. I'm so scared.
Because I don't have anybody signed up, and
Yeah.
I'm betting a lot on this, and I said, just trust, it's going to be all right, it's going to be fine. And you ended up almost selling out of
Yep.
what you were doing, and the and the reception that you got from everyone, and the relationships that you built, it was dynamic,
It
and
has.
it all happened because you didn't say, "No, I can't
Yeah,
do this."
it's true. So true.
And
Oh,
and you're just at the cusp. You're just at the very beginning.
the very beginning. The very beginning. I agree. Like
It's
the
Go ahead.
the I like to take time at the beginning of every year and choose into a theme for the year of what I want to embody, embrace, and what I want to experience. And as I tuned into that this year, the phrase "glorious unfolding" was my theme for this year, and it has been a glorious unfolding, and it does feel like it's just the beginning of the momentum building. You know?
And you know what's interesting about that too, because I know a little bit about your story. It started out the beginning of the year. There were four of you, and it
Yeah,
was going to be a collaborative effort between
yeah,
the four entities. And in the course of a little bit of time, one fell away, and then another one fell away, and
yeah,
then finally the third one fell away. And
yeah.
it was all by divine design, because you were destined to do this and be the one in charge because it's
Yeah.
your vision.
Yep, it has been. It's been a beautiful vision and learning so much through that. And through that, getting to challenge and face some of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears was doing this alone. And I'm facing that. I'm doing that. I'm stepping into that. That's the gift that I see in it is I've been able to look at, okay, this is the reality. I'm facing these huge fears of being alone and doing this alone. And then stepping into, I'm doing this alone. I'm stepping into my power. I get to create this. This is my vision. You're right. Like really shifting that from, oh my gosh, I'm alone to I'm alone to I think I got this and moving in and that momentum building. Man, it's been incredible to see the personal growth and belief in myself and what I have to offer because I've always worked for a company that said, here's how we do what we do, step in and do it. And I'm good at that. I'm good at saying, okay, that's your process. Yep, I'm in, I can do it. And just bringing my flavor to the table. And this time I'm like, this is like these are my processes. This is my this is my baby, if you will. This is how I do life. And what if it's not well received? What if it doesn't actually help other people? There's just so much of like, this is my system. And to see now as I stepped into it and took that risk and leap of faith to see that mirrored back of, whoa, like I'm even shocked. Like I have people who are brand new, people who've been doing healing work for a long time that are all experiencing incredible growth. That is powerful. That's been such a great mirror to see. Okay, I do think there's something here. I think I got something, you know? I think I have something here and stepping into that and no one else telling me how I should do it. It's all coming from in here. It's been so incredible for me. Incredible.
It has been probably a 10-year process for you. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
it's interesting. People think, she became a superstar overnight. It's just like
Right.
she was a housewife and now she's this,
Yeah.
and but it was a process that
Oh
you
yeah.
had to go through, from being told no, you can't do something, and going, and I was telling somebody that story and going, sh- her husband said no,
Yeah.
so she went and she started cleaning motel rooms and bathrooms and truck stops and earning money on her own to do that, and the man still said no.
Yeah.
I find that just incredibly difficult. That to me was like, if you were my wife and I said no and you started doing this stuff, it would be like, oh, I guess you mean it. You really want to do it, and so
Yeah.
here, have the
All right,
money.
we'll
I'll support you.
Yeah. You know, the beauty of that for me was it was the first time I was stepping into my power saying, I'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. And to have that time and time again of I honor my inner voice above anyone else's. It was the beginning of that process. And then seeing the universe and God really step in, and every single time I had the ability to make those payments and to do that and to step into that. And it was just a really, for a woman in the culture that I grew up in, of I was told you're a housewife and you're a mom and that's the most important thing. That's what you're here to do. You know, if anything, once your kids are grown, you can be a teacher. That's what you're made for. Like that's the extent. That's your ceiling. That's what you should look forward to. And that's what I was taught. Um, to now do it a different way and to really step into my power of this is what I want and this is important to me, and to see it all happen really was foundational for once I stepped out and got divorced. You know, that was all very foundational to having my power now.
Well, and you had a strong desire to do it, and so you did it.
Yeah.
And that it's impressive, and it's also very, very uplifting and rewarding for other people who are watching your story,
Mm,
because you're just not sitting there saying, well, woe is me, and I've got, I got the 4 kids, and they're teenagers, and I have to. You're handling it all. And
yeah.
is it easy? No, it
No.
can't possibly be.
No.
But
It's not.
you're not going to give up, and nor am I. I
True.
feel like you and I are walking down the same road together.
We are. I agree. That's the fun part. That's why I think that's part of why I get so excited to hear your progress and your success is like we both are wholeheartedly all in. Like moving, acting with our whole heart. This is my dream and I will see it through, and to have that mirrored to me and to say, yeah, that actually is powerful versus going into and just settling into, well, you should just get a job. You should just get a part-time job and do this on the side, or you should really do this instead of this, like the cultural pressures to choose into what everyone else is doing, and to just say, no, I choose to follow my heart. That's the most important. And to say that's powerful and to cheer each other on, it's been such a huge support.
And because I remember that conversation that you and I had, which was, do I take this road or do I take this road? And I said, I think, if memory serves me, I said, you have to be true to yourself to at least the end of the summer,
Yep,
until this class happens, and you do this class, and then you see what happens. But I'm telling you, you do this and it's going to be successful,
I
and
agree.
you
I'm
will
starting
get
to
it.
really, what's cool is my thoughts and emotions are now aligning with that because I'm seeing it. And it's like, I think so, and then I'm taking action, I'm moving. And what's so good about the action part that maybe people don't fully understand with like the secret and stuff. Hmm.
Mm-mm. Are you there? Uh-oh. I see you. Oh, can you see me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's happening? Now this is I'm fine. Um, Dana, are you there, Dana? Dana, what is going on? Dana? Well, oh, she's gone. No, it's not you this time. Hello, everybody. Okay, we're gonna have to see if Dana comes back, because she went away there for a second, when we don't know why, but this is technology. It happens this way sometimes. So in the meantime, what I should do is tell you that we were talking about following your passion, following your dreams, and one of the things that my independence report has done for me is it allows me to do a little bit more. And because Holly Barry, my not Halle Berry, Holly Berry. Oh, wait a minute. Device is not connected. There she is. Kinda, maybe. They'll need to connect. Let's see, the mic cam before you can add them to the stream. She's there. We're coming. She's coming back. She's coming back. So bear with us, everybody, and she'll be with us in just a second, and we'll go ahead and she's working on it. She will need to connect their mic cam, connect your microphone and your cam and stuff, my friend, and we should be okay, good to go. I'm gonna need to this one. I'm gonna need to edit, I'm afraid, but we'll see. We shall see what we shall see. But in the meantime, I should tell you that let's see, they'll need to connect. Let's see, can I do anything for you? No, ban. No, I can't do that. She's gonna be a coming here in just a. She's gonna be coming. I can tell you, she's gonna be showing up here in just a second. And this is Dana Parker. She's with Inner World Movement, and go to innerworldmovement.com. And oh, she disappeared again. Oh well, we're having technical difficulties, and we will get it back together here in. Oh wait a minute, there she is. She's back. She's back. I don't know what happened.
Might have been my internet.
Oh, I know. Well, we live in that age where sometimes the internet just kind of goes. But
I
but
know.
but anyway, you were saying, and it was so good.
I was saying the taking action part is really important because it creates that integration of your thoughts and emotions. It starts anchoring those in more and more. It's a really important combination. It's like the thoughts and emotions are the feminine aspect of creation, and the action is the masculine part, which we all have, and we all in any creation, it's important to have both. But that action, what I'm noticing is as you take action in that aligned space of I'm clear on what I want, I'm going for it, then and you stay committed to it, that action starts really integrating belief in the dream, belief and faith and hope, and all those things that really are a great dynamic for creation of something to come to be.
Let me tell you what's happening in my world.
Yes.
Because of Holly, and she just got out of business school and she understands branding. The one problem I've always had is my Independence Report really doesn't tell what the show's about.
Yeah.
It's not really branded very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so we recreated Positive Talk Radio, which is going to be where people like you are going to be. My Independence Report is going to become more of a mainstream documentary kind of thing for that kind of genre.
Yeah.
And then I've added a third one. It's called Think Energy, and
Ooh.
because I have a metaphysical side to me, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to participate with all three, but separate them into all three things. So let me play you the new opening that I've got
I
for
love
uh,
that.
for the show that I just premiered. It's called, and it's on Podbeam. It's called Podbean. It's called Think Energy, and this is the opening for it.
If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla.
In Think Energy, we'll delve into the world of universal energy and the people who use it to help others in a positive way. Hi, my name is Kevin McDonald, and I will act as your guide, bringing to you interesting people and concepts that at their core are all about energy. Be it Reiki, Feng Shui, energy healing, mediumship, psychic phenomenon, and many other energy-based modalities, we will dive deep into the work they do and maybe even get a reading or two. I hope that you'll join us for a fascinating discussion about, well, energy. So what do you think about
I
that?
love it. That's awesome. Ooh, I love
Did
those
that,
topics too.
huh?
I love those topics too.
That is what I've discovered is that I need to brand them better and have them be more focused so
Hmm.
that if somebody goes to Think Energy, that's what they're going to receive is they're going to talk about mediumship and people and really a lot of spiritual stuff um that is not going to be mixed in with other stuff. So it's branded better. So now
I love
I've got 3 different channels.
Yeah.
And
So on the Think Energy, are you going to interview people still? Is that what
oh
you're doing?
yes. Oh yeah.
So, well, I have a list of people that you can reach out to that are incredible, like channelers, healers, Reiki masters, like sound practitioners. Like, let me support you in that.
I would be honored
Okay.
if you would help me with that because
One of my favorites.
I haven't announced it quite yet on Facebook and
Yeah.
stuff, but I'm going to be going to do that because I really am interested in people that use energy in well let's put it bluntly. You and I use energy in what we do.
Yep.
And you'd use it in development of your programs and your courses, and you follow your energetic self
Mm-hmm.
and you allow that to be a major part of you. But it's not as overt as some
Mm-hmm.
that are channelers and energy
Yeah.
workers and that kind of
Agreed.
stuff. And I think that's an important part of our society,
I
and
do
I
too.
want people to feel like they can feel comfortable going there
Mhm.
to like-minded people, and there's not going to be, talking about a guy who got shot down in World War II, and then the Reiki master, and then we're going to talk
Yeah.
about the business guy, and so
Right.
and separating them out. So I
Yeah.
think that'll be
I love
helpful.
that. I love
So
it.
so it's going to be good. So you also then, you're going to one of these days. I'm going to hoodwink you into being a co-host on some of those shows.
I would love that. It would be so fun.
It really would be, and we could delve into the world of psychic phenomenon
Oh,
and mediumship
that would
and
be so fun for me.
all of those things
I
because
love
that
that world.
really from your religious training and background, you did the same thing I did, which was that can't be all there is.
That can't be all there is.
There has to be more.
I don't. I don't think that's all there is. Yeah.
Un- until it became nope, that ain't all there is.
Yeah.
There's and I've got
And
so many stories. Yeah. I've
I
got so
agree.
many stories of people that are have a psychic gift, and it's truly is amazing to watch them.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, I know. I have some really good friends that do that and are channelers that I just it's incredible. It's like it when we're all together, it feels like an honor to be there when that's taking place for me. And just to watch it. And it takes a lot of trust in your intuition to do that. A lot of trust to allow a message to come through. Um, Trust in one's own gifts, and it's amazing actually to watch. I've watched one friend go from no, I don't ever do that to now she's full on into channeling, and to see her journey because there's a lot that we carry. There's actually for anyone who is interested, there's a book called Witch by Lisa Lister. Talks about the witch wound, where she addresses a lot of the judgments that we have about people who are very gifted like that, and how our culture has set up this stigma around people who are spiritually gifted as evil or to take their power away so that they can have more control. And so it's a book that I highly recommend for anyone interested. Anyone who has a lot of judgments too around people who are spiritually gifted, um, it would be a good book.
I agree because remember, 300 years ago we burned people at the stake for that.
Burned people for their gifts, burned men and women for their gifts. And so there's a part of us that we actually, and me and my friends have talked about this, there's a legit fear in the body that comes when you start stepping out and sharing your gift, your spiritual gifts, and start sharing. There is a fear that you get to move through and heal and really address as you step into, being a thought leader or being a healer or any of those things. And it's important that we address those, because that's how we return to a more healthy feminine. So that side of things, that where it's not seen, but it's felt. It's a spiritual gift. It's an inner thing. It's an inner wisdom. That's a very feminine aspect of things that we deserve to come into balance with.
And I will tell you that I have had the same trepidations as a lot of people have
Mm-hmm.
in regards to, well, this is my independence report is kind of, I want it to be kind of mainstream, and I
Right.
don't want to, if I have a psychic on and stuff, that people think that I'm in the psychic realm, and I want it to be mainstream, and so I want, you can't be everything to everybody.
Nope.
And so consequently I'm going to be what I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I've come to understand, Dan, I've been really gifted with my life because I've got a wide range of knowledge and
Yep.
inquisitiveness about many topics.
Me
And
too.
so now I'm going to decide to divide them up into where they belong to be. On Monday I was talking to a guy about business, about creating a better model for business so
Mm-hmm.
that people can be happier, and that, which is, to me, is virtually the same as talking to a channeler and a psychic, but our society has separated them,
Agreed. I agree.
and it makes it really hard. So
Yeah.
I applaud people that are stepping into their own and stepping
Agreed.
into the power.
And we deserve to address when you have heavy judgments of somebody who maybe is a channeler or who has psychic abilities or any of those things. Start looking within and addressing those judgments. Don't keep projecting them out of fear to keep yourself safe. Go within. Look, why? What are my biggest fears? Why am I so worried? And a lot of it, what I'm noticing, has to do with personal power. A lot of people feel like, especially I've noticed, like people who go to psychics, for example, there's this, oh my gosh, what if they're right? And I tell people, stay in your power with it. You get to choose. That's just information. When someone is a psychic that gives you information, it's information for you to choose that or choose something different. Stay in your power. When somebody offers you, I have so many gifted friends that have just opened up and said, hey, I'm sensing this, this, and this, and this, and this person's coming through and all this. It's like, great, I'm going to take that and I'm going to now tune within and say, okay, what am I going to take? What feels true to me? And you stay in your power with it. And they're still gifted, but remember, we're all human. We all have human filters and things that can come up. And it's really important on the psychic side of things too, that we don't take it personally if we get something a little off. And remember, agency is always at play. Agency is so big.
Oh,
So big. It's always at play.
I knew that somewhere in this conversation you would say the word agency. So now you're going to have to explain it.
Yes. So agency is always at play. Always. Like people, this is another thing. Like in my culture, there's a lot of like the last days. There will be chaos and doomsday and all of that.
Wars and rumors of wars.
And I'm like, yes, exactly. I'm like, yes. And that was like hundreds of years ago. We were on that path. We have changed. We changed as a society. You're where you're putting your energy and choice matters. Are you going to say, oh my gosh, we're doomed to that doomsday from the scriptures from eons ago? Or are you going to say, you know what? Great. If everyone else wants to experience that, that's great. I don't want to. I'm not interested. And step into your power with it. And does it mean that you're absolutely not going to experience that? No. But this is what I believe. I trust that if I do experience pieces and portions of that, there's something for me to learn, to gain, to expand, to grow into. I trust that the universe brings only gifts. Everything happens for me. And that I can move through it and learn from it and rise from it. I don't have to experience that doomsday. I don't have to experience this life the same way that everyone else is doing it. And so I think, when it comes to agency is like, it's choice. It's staying in your power. There's so many areas of this world that are begging for our power, that are manipulating us to give our power away. If you look at the news, that is pure manipulation, fear tactics to get you into a space of fear so you give your power away. When you are functioning on a fear level within you about this world, about this life, and believing everything you're fed and told 100% without questioning, that is a recipe to give your all of your power away. And we're trained as children to do so. I just have to say, if you watch a child experience life, let's say they go down a slide and the slide goes way faster than they thought and they tumble and fall. And a lot of children will look up, they'll look to their parent or the adult with them to know how to feel.
You're right.
At that moment. This is training. This is training that we step into to know how to feel about this life. This is where every part of our life, as we're doing that as children, we still do it as adults. We're looking to culture, we're looking to our religious leaders, or we're looking to our parents, or we're looking to people we look up to know how to think about and feel about life. Instead, and that's not real agency. I just have to say that's not real agency. And I feel so passionately about it. And it's a really important message to live a life based on what culture, society, your family, everyone else has told you. That's not real choice. You're functioning off of default programs for a reason. And trust me, I lived this. And I lived this, and this is real happiness. Follow this path. But I followed the path. I did everything. Was I really happy? No. Because I was following what other people told me to do. I was following a program. And I was denying what was within. And so as I let that go and said, okay, what are these programs running that say I have to do life a certain way? That in order to be successful in this life has to look like X, Y, and Z in motherhood and religion and all these areas. And I started to let them go. And to me, when you let go and you're not earning anything anymore, you're just going within and saying, what is my heart calling for? What is it that I'm here to express? What is it that I'm here to contribute to the betterment of humanity? When you tune into that and you go within and you're following that, that's real choice. That's true agency at its best. I think there's lots of levels of agency. And when you're functioning from that place where it's not the low vibration emotions of fear or guilt or shame or whatever, hurt you have, when you can understand what's driving your choices, you free yourself. You're learning the skills and tools to free yourself for real choice, real agency of I get to choose. No psychic is going to tell me what my life has to be like or will be. Now I could choose into it and I could say, oh my gosh, the psychic said that this is going to happen and this is how it's going to be, so it has to be that way. And you'll most likely create that. And that's perfect. You're going to learn. You're going to grow from that. And to stay in your power and say, I get to choose. I get to decide. To me, that's real agency, real choice. You're functioning off of this inner space, this inner guidance, and not everything else out here.
And I'll tell you what the channelers and psychics and mediums, what they've confirmed for me is that I'm in control.
Yeah.
It's my life.
Yeah.
And I have got a team, which for me is extraordinarily empowering.
Agreed.
It's not a matter of being a god or a son of God or I have a friggin' team.
Yes.
And this team is acting upon what I said I wanted before I even got here.
Yep.
And they're working every day to help me. And so oftentimes you'll see me just going, okay, guys, what's next?
All right. Okay.
Or thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you. love you. I see it. I'm going.
Yeah, because it's such a freeing experience when you can say, I know that I'm going to be just fine.
Yeah.
And I'm going to follow what
Yeah.
I'm being led to do and see where it goes. It's very exciting.
It is. It totally is. And to know that you're supported, you know? I love that concept and idea of how I view life now is, yeah, I came here for a purpose. My guides, the people, the angels, the universe that's helping me, they know what the plan is. My responsibility is to let go of anything that holds me back from choosing in, from
Right.
saying yes.
Because
And
we have got the ability with free choice, we can make the choice based in fear or
yep,
based in what our relatives said or
yep,
that what other people said. You can't do that. I can't believe
right.
that you're thinking about doing
Yeah,
because we get the choice, we get the ability to choose. You know, it's in a Raiders of the Lost Ark movie.
yeah.
The third movie, he chose poorly. Is it? Do you remember that? Do you remember that one when the it's
I haven't
the
seen that Raiders of the Lost Ark.
oh well it's about the Holy Grail and the
Oh,
Holy
is it Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
and the knight that was in this cave with the Grail, and he'd been there for hundreds of years,
Mm,
and the guy came in and he chose the wrong chalice. He drank from it and died. And he said
yeah,
he chose poorly. You chose wisely when Indiana picked the right cup. So it's like we get to choose. We get to choose. But if we choose poorly, then we get to have the repercussions of the choice that we make, both
yeah,
positive and which. If you take responsibility, I know as an example, you take responsibility for that,
yeah.
for making the
Yep,
right choice.
yeah. And I get to choose too. And you know what? At first, what's so interesting about this idea of choice, you know, I learned back in 2016 when I entered into a really big program. And here I was, I felt so much inner peace. I knew it was the right decision for me. And then what happens is my brain made up this whole story of what that means is going to happen moving forward. And what I thought was going to happen moving forward didn't happen. It actually ended up in more of a disaster. By the time I was done with the company, I was drained, I felt taken advantage of, and I felt manipulated. And it was so interesting to then step back and say, huh, I have this choice right now. I could see that as I chose poorly. I can, but I remember how I felt. I remember the inner peace. I remember that feeling that this was the best path and it was meant to be. I remember it very clearly. And going back and understanding now and rewiring my relationship with life in a new way, saying, when I get that feeling that it's right and it doesn't turn out the way that I thought, I deserve to trust that I was meant to learn and grow from that, and that I will learn and grow from that. Okay, what did I learn about myself? What did I learn about business? What did I learn about how I want to be a leader? What did I, you know, there's just so many things I've been through now. A lot of times learning comes through what not to do also. That was the biggest experience of that company, learning a lot of what not to do as a leader. And it wasn't my company. That was the beautiful part, is I watched it crash and burn, and I wasn't the one responsible, but I got to learn the lesson and learn that, ooh, that type of leadership, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in a lack of integrity to my tools that I'm teaching. I'm not. I will live with integrity and humility, enough to know that I don't have all the answers and I don't need to put myself above anyone else that I'm working with or anyone else in this world, that we're all in the struggle. We're all in the journey with it. Those are huge, valuable lessons, I think, as a leader and as I step into what I want to in my life. And that's powerful. And that peace that was there, it's like my soul knew this is going to be a doozy. This is going to be a doozy. And I felt total peace about it. And it was a doozy. And I learned and gained so much from that.
But
And
that was an important piece for you to experience that.
yeah.
And so from that standpoint, it was like the universe and you guys were saying, well, guys, I think that this would benefit her if she learned this. So
Yeah.
let's see if we can't set that up so that she can learn this, so that then down the road she can get to where we want her to be and where she says she wishes to be.
Exactly. And it was the first time too I got to experience speaking in front of groups of hundreds. That was another super valuable to see. Wow, I am incredible in front of groups of 100, and I love it. And it feels like home to be on that stage in front of hundreds of people and to be guiding them through a process. And that's really valuable. There's just so much, and the connections. I think the connections and the people that I created relationships with have been life changing. The most valuable, incredible relationships.
And you're keeping the good ones, and
Yes,
you're letting the bad ones, you're
yeah,
loving them and letting them go.
yeah. It is what it is. Thank you for the lessons. I release you.
Exactly.
And trust me, to get to here, thank you for the lessons I release you. There's anger, there's hurt, there's pain, there's frustration, there's a lot of emotions to navigate to get to thank you and I release you. And that's okay. It's taken me, and I still have stuff that will come up from that experience, that's anger and frustration and hurt and sadness that's still processing, because I put my whole heart into that company. And I put everything I had into that. And yeah, it was interesting.
The interesting thing about that is that I had a similar experience.
Mm,
In that there's this company, I won't use their name,
right.
but they have different levels. They have a
Mhm,
facilitator and they have folks in the front of the room, and there are hundreds of people in the room,
mhm,
and they present it in a way that is real positive and loving and caring and stuff. But then when you get into the back room of where they
so
have banks of phone lines calling people to and they had people that they were employing to get more people to drink the Kool-Aid,
mhm,
as it were, so that they can make more money, so that they could get more people, so that they can continue
mhm,
on. And so it became a chase for dollars
mhm,
rather than a spiritual experience.
mhm.
And that was, and I said to myself, I'm pretty sure I don't want to be part of that
Right,
mill, because
right.
you were judged on how many people, how many dollars, how many people you brought in, how
Mhm,
many dollars you produced.
yeah.
And
And
go
that's
ahead.
old school. I think there's that has an importance, but it's not the focus. And business is starting to shift in a new way, where those that just focus on the dollars, they're not going to find the same success that they used to, because
And
we're shifting. We're
I
really
believe that
upgrading our business.
the people that have integrity and
Mhm,
are doing it in a right way are
mhm.
going to become much more successful.
I
And
agree.
successful is a weird word.
It is, and it's so biased. It's all based on filters and opinions, and everyone has a different standard for what that word means to them.
What do you consider success? For me, success is having people listen to the people that I bring on to my show, like you,
Mhm. Yeah.
and say, she's got some really good points. I'm going to try
Mhm.
and exercise these points. I'm going to try and make a change. I'm going to try and do better and stuff. And that's more important to me
Mhm.
than big dollars. Uh,
Mhm.
so it's working for me. It's just like working out terrifically. Uh,
Right. Right.
and I love what I do because I get to talk to people like you.
I know. It's so fun.
but you are maybe, well, we were destined to meet anyway, but
I agree.
you're somebody that I'm gonna work with for forever, and we're gonna have an impact.
I agree.
We're gonna have a positive
I
impact.
desire that.
So let's see. Oh crap! It's time for.
I know.
What do you got going the rest of the day? You got business to tend to?
Oh yeah. Today is a really busy day. I have back-to-back sessions, and then I have a live class tonight here locally. So
Ooh, a live class. Are you teaching it?
yeah, yep.
What's the class on?
We're talking about the generational baggage that we imprinted on about money for women. Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about that next time?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, going back to, we look to our parents to know how to feel about things. We look to our grandparents to know how to feel about life and things. It happens with money too, for each of us. And so, as I've dived into that for myself, now I get to help these other women experience healing and growth in this area, generationally, of what we imprinted, what we found from our parents and chose into about money. So
Isn't it weird that generationally you end up with a grandfather, then a father, and a son? They kind of do the same thing, and they
yeah.
end up in the same place.
Oh
And
yeah.
rather than somebody to break free and become
Mhm.
really successful, everybody
Mhm.
kind of wallows in the same kind of place because
Yep.
they don't seem to have a blueprint of how to do anything different than what they know.
Exactly. That's actually one of those areas we can see generational baggage the most, is money. Wealthy families, or families that are, perpetually poor. And every now and then I'll meet people who break out of that and choose out of that. Like the guy I'm seeing has a totally different experience with money now than he did growing up, and it's just night and day different. But he had people show up in his life and mirror to him something different, which gave him perspective and was like, whoa, I can have something different. And what do I want? And choosing into higher levels of thinking about money and with different things. And as women, we deserve to step into that. It's actually really important because we have all the freedoms that we do now. It's time to up level our inner belief in ourself with money. Whether we're the main breadwinner or not, our beliefs about money 100% absolutely affect our family and our home's experience with money. It does.
It does in a very big way. I agree with you 100%. So we're going to talk about that next time that we meet. Is
Perfect.
that going to be next Tuesday?
Yes.
So your schedule's clear on Tuesday afternoon?
Yes.
Awesome.
And I have you in every week.
Oh, that's great, because I look forward to these discussions. And so
Yeah.
we're going to talk about money and women. That should be yes. You need to stay right there, because I got one more question for you, and we're going to end the show, and I'll be right back. Hey, and thanks for listening to this episode all the way to the end. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, don't forget to follow us so you can receive regular updates and new posts. And remember, take care of each other, because each other's all we've got. See you next time on My Independence Report.